Good evening and welcome to the Virtual Campus Store 6.0. Now, the day that we have been awaiting is finally here. Finally, we've kickstarted, and on this auspicious day, which is our fifth anniversary here at the community. So, tonight we're going to be kickstarting events at the Virtual Campus Store. And just in case you do not know what the Virtual Campus Store is about, the Virtual Campus Store is hosted by the Go a Bit Further community, and it is aimed at combating the SDG Goal 4. And in case you do not know what SDG represents, SDG means Sustainable Development Goal. And the Goal 4 is targeted at quality education. So the virtual campus store is aimed at educating university students so they can fit into the ever evolving workspace. Whenever you hear going before that, whenever you hear the virtual campus store, what should come to mind is employability. What should come to mind is global impact, global opportunities, global change. And those and many more are the things that you are in for tonight. So if you are excited to be here, do let us see it in the comment section. Let me see your emojis. Let me see the hype in the comment section. Come in with the dance emoji, with the fire emoji. Let us see the energy that you are excited and you are ready to garner knowledge tonight. So let me see, people. Show me that you are ready for tonight. Welcome, Chidima. I can't see you guys, oh. I need to see you in the comment section. Tonight we have a lot packed, a lot of value, a whole lot. I can't even begin to explain. Honestly, this is going to be an amazing ride, and I'm not sure that you're even ready for it because obviously I can't even see anybody. Please show me that you are ready and you're excited for tonight in the comment sections. Let me see the fire emoji. Let me see the dance emoji. Let me see the celebration emoji. And then while you're at it, please do grab your note, grab your pen, because you are going to be garnering a whole lot of knowledge, profitable knowledge. Remember what Go a Bit Further is about, and what it's generally about is enriching and enlightening young people with the right skills, right knowledge, so they can fit into the ever evolving workspace, so they can be able to access global opportunity, so you can become a person of value, so you can become a change maker, you can become a person of impact. So do get your notes, get your pen, grab a glass of water or juice if you have that with you, and then settle in. But please do show us that you are excited and you are ready to learn tonight. I can't see you in the comment section. Please, I want to feel the energy from over here. I want to feel the vibe. I want to feel the energy. Let me see your emojis. The fire emoji, the dance emoji. In fact, just be spontaneous tonight because a whole lot is packed for you. Welcome, Favor Jonathan. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome, everyone. And if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now. Hit the subscribe button. Invite your friends. Put a word out on social media, on WhatsApp, on Instagram, on whatever social media handle you're on. Tell them that you are live at the virtual campus store and that you are ready to onboard the value train. Go live to WhatsApp or to Instagram and get all of your friends on board. Send them the link, invite them, let them know what is happening. It would be good if you are here garnering value and then your friends are missing out. So please do invite your friends. Let them know what's going to happen tonight. Let them know what's going to take place tonight. Like I said earlier, this is our fifth anniversary at the virtual campus store, and it is a big deal, the big five. It is a big deal, honestly. And as a way of paying back to society, or as a way of impacting society, Mr. Andrew Igbineweka, our founder at Go a Bit Further, has organized organize and package the virtual campus store to once again impact young people, university students, young graduates, and the likes. So people, let me see you in the comment section. I can't see anybody. I've only seen Favor Jonathan all the while. Where are you guys? Are you sure you are ready for tonight? Are you sure you have gotten your pen and paper? Are you sure you are ready to garner knowledge tonight? Tonight, we're going to be treating a really interesting topic. And just in case you haven't seen it in the flyers that was put out, tonight we're going to be treating how to manage your emotions and relationship as a university student. So trust me, there is a whole lot of value that has been packaged for you. All you have to do is participate actively. All you have to do is, get a pen, get a paper, invite your friends, and be ready to garner value. Also, you should pen down your questions because, relationship, emotional intelligence, it's a big deal. Because this day we get to hear a lot of things about mental health awareness, and most of these things stem from emotional intelligence or lack of emotional intelligence. So I believe you do have questions on how to manage your emotions as a relationship. Your emotions and relationship as a university student. Do pardon me. So please pen down your questions, and when it's time for questions to be asked, we'll let you know. But just make sure that you are prepared. So very soon we'll be having our guest speaker on the live session with us. Very soon you get to see her beautiful face. And tonight's speaker is quite special. She's our first lady here at Go Before That. She's the wife of our founder, Mr. Andrew Igbineweka. And trust me, this lady, she's value herself. She is loaded with so much value, insightful words. In fact, I know you are pumped. Thank you, Esther. I'm so happy to see that you are pumped. Please show me the energy. All right, while I'm waiting for you guys to make the chat session as hot as possible, let me introduce our guest. So, Dr. Sophia Igbineweka is an optometrist by training, having earned her degree from the prestigious University of Benin, Edo State. Her commitment to providing quality eye care services to unserved communities is unparalleled. In line with her work in optometry, Sophia has dedicated her time and expertise to various government and non-governmental platforms, supporting initiatives aimed at promoting health and wellness in local communities. Her tireless dedication to public health is evident through her work with organizations such as Irua Specialist Teaching Hospital, Gilead Medical Team Warri, Gilead Medical Team Ecosodin, Ministry of Health, Edo State, Esan West Free Medical Outreach, Igobazwa Outreach, Edo State, Harmony Eye Clinic, and Rome Eye Clinic, where she has utilized her skills and knowledge to provide quality eye care services during Worldside Day outreaches. Sophia is not only a skilled optometrist, but also a gifted writer, editor, author, and the founder of LTB Reviews, a platform that offers comprehensive book reviews focused on purpose discovery, personal development, and relationships. Sophia's multifaceted career is a testament to her passion for both literature and public service, and she continues to inspire others with her unwavering commitment to make a positive impact in the world. So guys, if you are ready for our guest speaker tonight, let me see you give a standing ovation, a clapping ovation in the comment section. Please do not dull, no dulling, please. Let me see the fire emoji as we welcome our guest speaker into the live session tonight. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome. Good evening, ma'am. I'm so excited to have you here with us.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, good evening. Thanks for having me. Am I
It's it's such an honor to have you here with us, ma'am. And knowing that this is your area of specialty, and we can't wait for you to unpack value.
Okay, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Sorry, I'm not seeing my chat right now, but I think I'll check that later. Okay,
Okay.
so first of all, happy fifth anniversary to David for the Africa. And then we're talking about how to manage your emotions and relationship, right? As a university student. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, I was looking at the topic and in my head, I just felt, well, university student is the same thing as a university student, is the same thing as a graduate, as someone outside university and all of that. I think the difference with university students is that, first of all, I think the university system kind of creates this illusion of independence that's not necessarily there, because many a times you feel you're independent but you are not really responsible for yourself. So in a way,
True.
the demands of life that require responsibility, you try to skip that part and then try to still take on the same role. For example, we're talking about relationship, right? You know that there's an
Yes.
aspect of relationship that demands responsibility, financial responsibilities, and all of that. And so you see people going into relationships without having a full grasp of it. And I think that's why they say most of relationships that start in school don't end, don't amount to anything, because it's not really reality, sort of. Or so tonight we're just going to look at some things that you should know, whether in university or outside university, concerning relationship. And I feel it will be important for us to take this thing serious, because eventually what you know makes a difference. What you know, what you do makes a difference in your outcome. Whether you start a relationship in university or not, it can be successful depending on what you know, what you do. And I would use myself as an example, because I think my own objective when I was in university was that I was not going to go into a relationship in school, because I felt I would not be able to handle it, blah, blah, blah. And that was what I wanted, but eventually that was not what played out, because all the relationships I started and ended were in school. And then I also met my husband in school. So in a way, I had the experience of relationship that didn't work out while in school. I still had the experience of relationship that worked out while in school. So it all depends on what you know and what you do. That's what makes a difference, actually. And then, so to quickly go into that conversation, I just want to share some things with us. Like I said, I had both ends in school, both experiences, the relationship that didn't work, the relationship that led to marriage, started both in school. And then I can tell you that the difference between both experiences were, first of all, knowledge. Knowledge. As at the time I said I wasn't going to go into a relationship in school, I did not necessarily know so much about relationship. I can almost say I didn't even know anything, because everything I knew was wrong. So, and when what you know is wrong, it's as good as not knowing anything, because you won't get any reasonable result out of that kind of knowledge.
True.
And so when I made that decision, I felt I was not ready and all. And then I also did not understand emotions, because what played out was now emotions. If it had happened to be a relationship where someone asked me out directly, sorry, I would have said, no, I'm not ready. But it was a relationship where my emotions were involved before I even knew I was in a relationship. And so it was kind of an emotional entanglement, if I would call it that. And so I always encourage, or okay, before I skip into that, as at the time I made the transition after that relationship, I realized that the main problem I was having was, or okay, let me say it this way. As at the time that relationship ended, I wanted to know why it did not work. And so I started reading. I started finding out, I started asking questions about relationship. I read books, I prayed and all of that. And then I learned and I understood why it did not work. So I would start by saying the best way to manage your emotions and manage your relationship while in school or out of school is to get the right knowledge, not just knowledge, because everybody knows something about love. Let's begin with that. Like, I mean, everybody knows something about love. If I ask you, tell me what you know about love, you have a lot to say. And I believe the same goes for every other person on the chat tonight. Everybody knows something about love. Everybody knows something about relationship. Everybody knows something about all that comes with it. But the problem is, what you know, is it correct? Because if what you know is wrong, your experiences will be wrong. There's no two ways about it. And so get to know the truth about relationship. Okay. So get to know the truth about relationship, get to know the truth about love, get to know the truth about your identity. I'm mentioning this because
Hello, Ma, are you still there? Mom, are you still here? Okay, guys, it's still the virtual campus tour, and we just kick started. I think the network of our guest speaker is fluctuating, but I'm very sure that she'll be back on the live session shortly. So just in case you missed what she has said so far, she made emphasis on the need for right knowledge in managing your emotions and your relationship as a university student and even outside of the university. So if you do not have the right knowledge, chances are that you are going to fail at it. Welcome back, Ma. Welcome
thank you.
back.
Sorry, my network cut me off at that point. Okay, so we're saying you first of all, one of the things you need to get it right in relationship at all. Like I started by saying, being in university, being out of university doesn't really matter. It just depends on what you know and what you apply. So that rule of most persons that get into a relationship in university, it doesn't lead to anything, is because of the fact that there is first of all that illusion that university system creates, which in the real world is not there, because in the real world you are on your own. You don't have to be in the hostel. I remember then when we were in school, everybody has a boyfriend, everybody has a girlfriend. Sometimes in your room, if you stayed in school hostel, your roommates are sleeping over at their boyfriend's house and all of that. So there's that illusion that a relationship is something everybody does and it's so simple and you can just sleep over and it's not complicated and all of that. And that's not necessarily true, because in reality relationship demands a lot more than that picture that university system places and all. But then if you know the right things and you do the right things, I think your experiences will be better. And so we're talking of, first of all, knowledge of the truth. Now, the truth about what? The truth about love, the truth about your identity, the truth about how relationship works. I will get to emotions as we're talking of all of this. Now, what's the truth about love? Like I was saying before it went off, everybody has a definition of love, which I'm not going to dispute, but I'm just going to give you what I would call an acid test for true love. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So I'm just going to give you what I consider an acid test for true love. And I take my reference from the scriptures because I realize, when the Bible says you will know the truth and the truth will set you free, the scriptures is actually true, and it works in every situation for all ages, and it's still valid, right? So if you look at 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 8, it gives a, do I call it, an assessment of the nature of love. And I mean the love that is true. It's the same love in relationship. If someone says he loves you, sorry, if someone says he or she loves you, and you grade their actions in line with what is written in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 8, and it doesn't match, then that person has said something that is not necessarily love. Maybe the person is actually attracted to you, that's a different ball game. Or the person is, I won't call it leeching, but there is also the place of attachment. The person is attached to you or is obsessed. It can be what the person is experiencing, but everybody says everything as love. So, and if you want to know what love really is, just go to 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 8. It says love is patient, love is kind. Is this person patient with you? This person that claims to love you, is this person kind? It says love does not take record of wrong. Does this person keep scores of the things you did wrong in the past? It says love does not rejoice in iniquity, but in good. Is this person, how is their response when something bad happens to you? Do they say, oh, the way they say it in pidgin, now God catch them, or um that's karma or something? You just know. It's not rocket science, really. It's for you to first know the truth. When you know the truth, you can know what is not true. And so I'll just leave you in your spare time. Because of time, I won't go into that in depth, but you can just study 1 Corinthians 13 verse 4 to 8. If anybody in this life claims to love you and their actions does not line up with what is there, believe me, what the person feels for you might just be an attraction. Attraction is someone you are drawn to, maybe because of something about them that speaks to you. It's understandable, it's normal, it's something human beings experience. There is also attachment. There are so many other things that look like love, but it's not necessarily love. So if it doesn't fall, for me, that's my acid test. If it doesn't fall into that category, patience, kindness, if the person's attributes, because love is expressed not just in words but in actions. And so you have to look out for the actions beyond the words. And so that's knowledge about love. Now, knowledge about relationship. Like I said, there is how relationship works. And well, we may say everybody's experience is different, blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, there are some things that you can't really change. It's more like if you're in a relationship with someone and let's say you are having sex, there is a tendency that you might get pregnant. It is natural, it is normal, it will happen regardless of the side of the world you are living in, except maybe you're using protection or whatever, or the person is removing it and all of that. So the idea is there is what leads to, there are actions that lead to certain results as far as relationship is concerned. Now, for relationship to work, it requires some basic things. Relationship requires commitment. All the theory of friends with benefits, friends without benefits, such that you can be in a relationship and not be committed and all of that. At the end of the day, those people, they just end up hurt because relationship cannot work without commitment. It can't work without trust. I don't know if you understand. There are some basic truths about how relationship work. And so if you know this and you understand this, if you're in school and let's say you meet someone you like and the person is asking you out, you'll be able to evaluate the whole situation because it's very simple. For example, you'd say, am I ready for this kind of commitment right now? Can I commit? One, can I trust this person? Can I tolerate this person? You've probably hung out with the person a couple of times and you know the way this person behaves. Probably is hot tempered or she's this, she's that, she talks too much. We all come with different packages and it is just unique to each person. It doesn't make one person better than the other, it's just who you are. And it's something to consider because you cannot say you love someone and you do not know that person and when you're in a relationship with the person and you start seeing all of these attributes, you now feel you no longer love the person. No, eventually love is not an emotion, it's a decision. And so if you want to go into a relationship, find out how relationship works. It's very simple. Find out all the demands. Relationship requires compromise. That's the truth. You cannot be in a relationship and be trying to have your own way all the time. You are not in a relationship with yourself. You're in a relationship with another human being that also has his own needs and desires and all. And so if you want to go into a relationship, just find out on all levels of the things that make relationship work, how ready you are. Relationship requires responsibility. Like I said earlier, if you're in a relationship and you're having sex, unprotected sex, let me put it that way, because it's still possible to have protected sex and still get pregnant. But let's just say you're having unprotected sex. There's a tendency that you get pregnant. Now, are you ready to cater for a child at that point in time of your life? You should not be surprised because that is what comes out of it. Are you ready for that responsibility? Is the guy ready for that responsibility? If he's asking you for sex, how responsible is this person? Is it the kind of person that when you bring bills up or you bring things that need to be done, he responds or he just wants to have fun? So just tell yourself the truth, especially for the ladies. I'm stressing it because I feel like relationship tends to have more effect when it goes wrong on the ladies than on guys, which is not universally true, or it doesn't work 100% for in all cases because there are ladies too. Sorry, there are ladies that are very smart and they know what they want and they get what they want and take advantage of guys that might be a bit naive or something. So the question is, understand how relationship works really. It requires responsibility, and that responsibility is also financial because at some point you are involving someone else in your life. You have to be responsible for that person on some levels. In dating, it is very minimal. You don't have to pay the person's house rent. You might just need to give gifts, show up in their events, birthdays and all of that. But as it progresses, which might really be the intention of the relationship depending on what you want, if you are going to get married, you will now begin to understand financial implication of relationship because marriage, let's say wedding alone self, wedding involves a lot of financial commitment. Then the real marriage itself involves more financial commitment. So are you ready financially and all of that? It's very simple. By the time you evaluate all of this, you know on what end you want to get into a relationship. And if you don't, and you still get into a relationship, it is not a crime. The only thing is, eventually, the gaps will show up. The places you ignored will show up. Probably you are the kind of person that you are not ready to commit and you are in a relationship, and then the person you are involved with starts speaking on you. Like, why would you be with me and you're still talking to these other guys and all of that? And then you start having issues. It's just showing that you are not ready for what you are asking for. I don't know if you are following. So it's very simple, really. Get knowledge of love, the true meaning of love, because I think that's the epicenter of relationship these days. Just know what love really means so that you are not caught unawares. And then get to know what relationship is really about. You can read books, you can listen to seminars and all of that. And then another thing is get to know yourself. Now, I'll be going into emotions on this part. There is a knowledge of self in terms of identity that is really important for relationship, because you are interacting with another person, and you have to know who you are. You have to know what you have. You have to know the value you bring to the table, so you know what to accept and what not to accept. It's like, to me, it's almost like a business contract in a sense. It is not how do I put it? The way we hear a lot of things, or like this, there's this popular song that says, if I get locked away and all of that, would you still love me the same? Blah 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 blah. Now the truth is, yes, we will not always be at our best, but nobody really desires to have a liability as a relationship partner. Believe it or not, nobody wants it. Because of love, they can put up with it. But at some point, it will be too much on a human being, because a human being, no matter how good the person is still a human being. And so get to know yourself, get to know your flaws, get to know your strengths, get to know what you can deal with, what you cannot deal with. When I hear this question of how do you know if he's the one, how do you know who to marry and all of that, it's very simple, really, if you know yourself. Because it's more like when you are grounded in the identity of who you are and someone comes along, you will look at this person and you'll be able to evaluate it, like, can I really work with this person? For example, I'm the kind of person that I love books. Let me just use that very general information. I love books, right? And then the truth is, if I meet someone who cannot stand books, who does not even want to have anything to do with knowledge and all of that, who is just interested in, let's say, having fun and all of that, and this person is really laid back as far as growth, knowledge and understanding is concerned, because of who I am, it will be difficult to move with that person for life. Let me put it that way. Because you can tolerate some things for a while, but for life, which is what relationship is about, or marriage now is about, it will be very difficult. And so you need to know yourself. When you know yourself, you know the kind of person you can move with. It is not the ultimate, but it is a very big path. And another reason why I would also encourage people to get to know themselves, their identity, is because when you meet people, people are going through different things. They tend to see you in light of what they're experiencing. And so if you don't know yourself, another person can define you. Let's say someone that is struggling with a lot of personal baggage, you're in a relationship with that person. That person can decide to play the blame game and always put you in a situation whereby he makes you feel guilty for decisions him or herself is making, and he's always making it look like you are the one that has a problem. I know so many persons have been in such abusive relationship that makes them feel like they are not good enough, this and that and all, because of what the person they have been with have probably told them. And this is something that, to me, it's, if you really know yourself, it doesn't even bother you. I don't know if you get it. Like, what someone else says about you does not count. If I know who I am, I know what I'm bringing to the table, and you're accusing me of I'm not caring enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'll just know that you are the one that has attachment issues, or you're the one that has this problem, and that is not my problem. And then I will know, okay, can I really continue in this relationship with this person or that person? It's very easy to navigate relationship when you have a good understanding of yourself. And so that's that on knowledge. Now, I want to talk a bit on emotions, the emotional path, because there's something about relationship that is also not, sorry, there's something about relationship that is also not all logic. We are human beings, that's the truth, and we have emotions. And one thing with relationship that makes it a bit complicated is because emotions are involved. One, and based on the fact that we are human beings, no matter what we know, we tend to make decisions on emotions. And so in relationship, or before you get into relationship, or as you are just moving through life, it's good to know yourself. It's good to know the kind of things that get to you. That's where we talk about love languages and the rest. It's good to know yourself really in terms of your emotions. Now, what would someone need to do to get you? Or what are the things that attract you to the opposite sex? It's good you know them ahead of time, because when you do, you'll be able to set boundaries around those things so that people don't take advantage of you. It's just the truth. If you're the kind of person that once physical touch is all you need to fall, then you know that you probably want to restrict the level to which you hug guys or touch or the rest, because you know that is something that gets to you. And once that happens, you start getting confused with almost any or everybody, every guy that touches you or hugs you. And you know, there are some people that do these things, how do I put it? They do it innocently. Some people it's just their way of being friends. They want to hug, they want to do all that. And you can imagine if a guy now hugs you, and let's say you're that kind of person that hugs really mean a lot to you, you would begin to imagine that, let's say, this person has some feelings or some attachment for you, and it might not even be what's on the person's mind, or you start getting drawn to people because of one, two, three things that they are doing that speak to you in a particular way and all. So it's good you know yourself, first of all. Personally, I can tell you the kind of things that get to me as a person. It might not be touch, but I have my own love language. And when you know this, you begin to set boundaries just to guide yourself and also to guide your relationship. I don't know if we're still following. I've said so many things already. But when you know your triggers, when you know your emotions, when you know the things that get to you, that's just the simplest way of saying it. When you know those things that stir you up and attract you to people, you'll be able to make better decisions because you'll be able to put boundaries around those lines. I know of a guy then when we were in school. He just made it his personal, um what's it called now? He just made his policy, sha, that he doesn't enter any girl's house. He just follows them to their gate or whatever, and that's the end. I don't know why. I don't know what he was safeguarding, but it's obvious that this kind of person is just trying to protect himself, nothing more. There are some persons that, well, I won't say in my opinion, but there are some persons that, let's say, because you're a very nice person, people tend to come around you a lot, especially guys. Now, such persons, if you were to protect yourself, it would be wise if you are not alone with guys in a room. There are some people that can handle it and nothing will happen. There are some people that can't. The truth is, you can't compare yourself with another person. That's why emotional intelligence is all about knowing yourself, knowing what gets to you, and knowing how to manage those situations to the best of your ability, because you won't be able to control it 100%, but at least to a good extent, when you know it, when things are happening, you'll be able to assess the situation to say, okay, I think this is just what is happening here. maybe it's because this person does this that I'm attracted to him or that, and then you'll be able to just manage situation instead of having yourself in a situation whereby something happened and then in summary you did not know how you found yourself here. That's just where what I'm driving at. And then I would also add this last part before we take questions, because I've realized that, first of all, as young adults, as human beings generally, even after knowing the truth, even after getting good awareness of yourself, we do not always do the things that we do not always do the right things. Let me just put it that way. You can know what to do and all of that, but when reality comes, it's difficult to do it and the rest. So, as part of my personal adaptation mechanism, let me put it that way, I believe a lot in prayer. That's the last part. I believe a lot in prayer. I believe that when you pray in faith, now not in fear, concerning whatever issue it is that you're struggling with, or whatever outcomes you want to have concerning relationship, concerning any other aspect of your life, I believe that there is grace released for you to go through that experience and have it the way you want it. And so I don't underestimate the place of prayer. It's something that I was reading a scripture, I think Romans 7, verse 18, where Paul said, in my flesh lies no good thing. The good I would want to do, I do not do it. The one I don't want to do, I find myself doing it. And that's just the reality of us as human beings, the weak side and all. And so I will just round up with saying, after you have gained knowledge, after you are aware of your emotions, you are setting boundaries and all of that, still pray about these things. Relationship is not something to just take lightly. It's not something to just feel you will figure it out on your own. There is also the God factor that helps. That's it. So questions, interactions, any of them. I'll take them now. Michael.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very insightful. All right, guys, please, you can begin to send in your questions. Make use, excuse me, of the comment sections. Send in your questions, as many questions as you have. I can't see you in the comment section. All right, while we are waiting, I do have a question. I'll just go ahead to ask mine. So,
Okay,
ma'am,
I'm listening.
you spoke on self-awareness, understanding your triggers, knowing what gets to you, and setting boundaries. Now, I believe that all of these things will help you control yourself, but then you do not have control of the other person. And then in relationship, it's almost impossible to take out vulnerability. So in times where you, as one of the partner, you are doing everything to, understand yourself, control yourself and all of that, but the other person is not reciprocating, and then you are getting hurt in the process, please, what would you advise?
Okay, this is concerning someone that is in a relationship, right?
Yes.
Hmm? That means there
Yes,
was
ma'am.
an agreement to both to the relationship, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So if you are in such a situation, now the truth is, you know, I mentioned earlier that a relationship requires responsibility, right?
Yes, you
You
did.
must be responsible for your actions as a person. The other person must take responsibility for his or her actions, right? And then let's say you are in a situation where you are trying to, like you said, you're trying to protect yourself, set boundaries and all, and the other person does not respect it. I think that's the question, right? What do you do?
Exactly.
The thing is, first of all, the Bible scriptures, there's a scripture that says, can two work together except they agree? Hmm?
Yeah.
The basis of relationship is agreement. Agreement is not just agreement to go into a relationship. Agreement is agreement on principles. I don't know if you're getting it. Agreement on principles, agreement on boundaries, agreement on the foundational things that matter in life. That's why I said relationship that starts in school gives an illusion, sort of, because it doesn't take it into cognizance so many other real factors, like, let's even say your faith, the kind of church you attend. Someone that is a Muslim, for example, since that's a bit extreme, even though there are even Christian doctrines that don't even, they seem like word apart. So the idea is, these are the things you look out for to know if you can even be in a relationship with someone in the first place. And if you're already in a relationship with this person, these are things you look out for to know if the relationship can progress or if it needs to end. I don't know
Okay.
if you're getting it. It
I
is
do. I
not,
get.
it is not, except the person is now married, because that is where you literally said you would take whatever. That's the meaning of marriage. You said you would take anything that comes. That is married. But if you're not married, you have to agree. And the agreement is not in words, so it's in actions. If you are the kind of person that values chastity, if that's the word, that's no sex before marriage, and your partner
Before marriage.
does not believe in it, it might not really work well in the long run, because there is so much that you can do as a person. I don't know if you get. There is only so much you can do. You can't control the next person. That's one thing you should know. And you cannot achieve something if both of you are not agreed. That's another thing you should know. So if it is no sex before marriage, for example, it has to be both of you believing that no sex before marriage is the way to go. I don't know if you get. Not someone that, not you believing it, then tagging along with someone that he just feels, no problem, whatever. I don't know if you get. There are some people that are on the fence. They are not in agreement with you. That's the truth. The fence is not agreement. The person is not saying, yes, I believe in it. He's not saying no. Do you understand? That is not agreement. Oh.
Yeah.
Agreement is he believes in it and he is working towards it. Then, if you have seen it that fundamentally this person believes in it but is struggling, if that is the scenario, that this person is struggling not because he doesn't want it, but he's in a place where, let's say, he's vulnerable and all of that, I would just suggest that as much as possible, you remove yourself from that vulnerable position. Let's say instead of meeting in your houses, for example, you can just decide that because we have agreed on this thing and this is what is happening, let's be meeting at eateries, you get. Let's meet outdoors, you understand? Because it's easy to control your emotions when you're outside. That's something that has been proven over time. The urges for, I'm using sex as the extreme. It might not be sex, whatever the situation you're dealing with. I don't know if you're following. It might not necessarily be sex, but like there is the wisdom for every situation. I don't know if you get. So if you have both
I get.
agreed on that thing, and it is that this person is struggling, not that it is his fundamental state, you get, you might now need to apply wisdom. Maybe pray and ask God to show you the best way to remove yourself and remove your partner okay from
Hmm.
that vulnerable situation. That's one. And also another very important thing is to be accountable. It is good that when you're in a relationship, you are not in a relationship alone. And you and your partner should have someone that you talk to, such that this person respects that person, you respect that person, and you know that at every point in time, like I remember our counselor then, or our leader then, we're not even married, or we're not getting married at that time, but he just told me something. He said, don't do something that you know you will not be able to tell me. You will not be proud to tell me. You get, if you have someone that you know, if you mess up, he will be disappointed or she'll be disappointed, and you keep yourself in check, it can help. I don't know if you understand. So it's good you are not in a relationship alone. Another thing that can also help is having a vision for the relationship. But all of these are on the fact that both of you are first in agreement on those foundational things. I don't know if you get. Then if you're now struggling, things that can help: accountability, remove yourself from that vulnerable position, then also having a vision. Having a vision is more or less like where the relationship is headed, and people, couples that you admire, you understand, you can use it to encourage yourself when you feel weak or when your partner feels weak. You get, sorry, I don't
Yeah.
want to, I'm considering time, so I
All right.
think
Thank
I've
you so
answered
much.
that.
Yeah, there's a
Okay, I
question
think
from Favor, and Favor says, please, in a case where you get so emotional with someone essential, like a spiritual father or mother or so, and this person is way older than you, and it's the same with him too, what would you advise? So I believe what Favor is trying to ask is whether it's wise to get into a relationship with somebody who is in the position of a spiritual father or a spiritual mother, or better still, how to manage your emotions, because we've seen cases where spiritual daughters are having crushes on spiritual fathers and vice versa. So that's from Favor. Isma, what are your thoughts on this question?
okay, I'll quickly answer this one, and then if there's any other question, maybe you can send it. Okay, okay.
Okay.
So on this particular one, you said someone is emotional. Now the truth is, it's not okay. This person, okay, is a spiritual father, a spiritual mother, fine, but that is not even the basis of a relationship. Emotions. Please follow what I'm saying carefully. You don't start a relationship because you're already emotionally involved with someone. If you are in a situation where you get emotionally attached to someone, whoever is the person, whether it's your spiritual father, whether it's just a normal guy or something, the best thing for you to do, is to take, I don't know how to put it, like, take a break from that person, first of all, because you need to clear your head. Take a break from that person. If possible, you have someone else you can talk to as a mentor or so. You can open up to this person and have objective evaluations of whether or not you are ready to go into a relationship. I don't know if you're getting the question. You should take a break, first of all, from that person, because you will not be objective with that person. That's the truth. And whether it's a spiritual father or a spiritual mother, it doesn't guarantee the person being a suitable partner for you. I don't know if you're getting. It is not a guarantee. You have to, we talked about, first of all, know what make relationship work. Know if you are ready. Know if this other person is ready. You understand? Know if you are ready for a relationship. Know the meaning of love. I don't know if I'm trying not to say too much, but the summary is: take a break from that person, seek counsel with someone else that can evaluate you objectively based on where you are and probably this other person, to know if you're ready to go into a relationship. Then if you're ready, you can now discuss with the person and both of you will decide. You understand? But that you're emotionally attached does not mean anything. does not mean you should go into a relationship. That's the word. Doesn't mean you should go into a relationship with somebody. Emotions can be controlled. I don't know if you're
Okay.
getting it. Emotions can be controlled.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. This was such an insightful session. All right, so guys, do share your
Thank you.
learning highlights on social media and make sure to tag Go a bit further. Go on Instagram, share your learning highlights, and then tag Go a bit further as a collaborator. Let the world know how much value you have garnered from this session tonight. Thank you so much, ma'am. And please do not forget to follow our guest speaker on all social media platforms. Her handle is at Sophia Igbineweka. So I believe you had a great time. We are still on the value train. There's so much more that is in store for you tonight.
Thank
Do
you.
hold on.
So,
Soon we'll be starting our next
okay.
session. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.